Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars, and welcome. I finally managed to find a way to be able to review Supernatural, the TV show, my favourite show of all time. I managed to convince my wife to watch it from the beginning, and we have been watching my box set. Just finished season 1, so I'm going to review each season one at a time when we complete the seasons. And season 1, what can you say? What a start for a show this was. Absolutely incredible. It was first released in January 2006. 22 episodes, some absolutely incredible episodes in the first season, as there have been in every season since. But I think there's few shows in the first season that get off to such a great start. The pilot episode was such a great introduction to these characters when you see what happens to them when they were children, when the mother gets killed on the ceiling, and we've got Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the father, and it just sets up the show so brilliantly. And then when Dean goes and finds Sam, who's at college, and asks him to come and help find the father, and it's such a great way to kick off the show. It's almost like the ghost story that follows in the pilot episode is kind of insignificant really. It's just a fantastic introduction to these characters. And there are many fantastic episodes, and I've listed some of them there, that I think are some of the top episodes in season 1. But there are more. There are many more. There's not many misses in regards to the first season. The idea was, with the show, certainly with the first season, I think they had the first seasons 1 to 3 planned out. They had the arc in place, and the idea was that it was like Luke Skywalker and Han Solo travelling around the country, driving into a different horror story each week, sort of thing, and like investigating all these American urban legends. And the original pitch apparently was, by the series creator, that it was going to be like a journalist travelling to all these places, and investigating these stories and writing them up and in the paper, and nobody would believe him, sort of thing. And they kind of passed on that and says, no, we're not interested in that. And then when he pitched it further, and he says, well, what about we do it this way? And he talked about Sam and Dean, and the family dynamics, and them going into a different horror movie each week and stuff. They love that idea, and they gave it the go ahead. So I mean, let's say some of the stories and creatures that they deal with throughout the whole season. I mean, like I said, there's lots of ghosts. You've got these great urban legends. You've got like Bloody Mary and things like that, and the Hook Man, and you've got vampires, you've got skinwalkers, Wendigos, demons. I mean, every aspect really. I mean, just what they touch in the first season alone is just incredible stuff, really. But throughout this is that thread of this family drama that's going on. That is Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles have got such great chemistry. You believe them as brothers, and this need for them to, follow in the father's footsteps, make the father proud, and going on all these adventures. It's just really tangible, and I think they do a great job with the writing of the show. It's not just cheap scares every week. It's this family dynamic, this family drama that never eases up throughout the whole show. It does a great job, not just in the first season but throughout the whole series, of keeping this family dynamics going, giving them interesting things to do, adding more layers to the characters. And the first season gives the show such a great foothold. It's one of those shows that once it gets its talons into you, there is no escape. And I remember when I first started watching Supernatural, and I started watching season 1, it took me about 3 or 4 episodes to really get into it. It's one of those shows that's probably easier for women to get into. Let's be honest. Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki. When I told my sister to watch Supernatural about 2 or 3 years ago, she'd never seen it, and then she was absolutely hooked and absolutely adores Dean Winchester, Jensen Ackles. You know what I mean? So it's probably easier for women to get into the show than men. But once I actually got these characters, and I was invested in these characters, that's it. I was absolutely hooked. And I haven't watched this show from the beginning. I first started watching this show about 5 years ago. And then I binge watched it up to about season 9, I think it was, And then after that, I've been following the show every year as the new seasons have been coming out, pretty much. And I just think for a show to keep going as long as it's been going, this show, and it's just about it's just filming its final season now, the 15th season, and still remain relevant, still have such a passionate fan base. And for Jensen and Jared to commit so fully to this show, they've barely done any feature films or any other work, besides Supernatural. They're fully committed to this show. I think is testament to how great this show is and their passion towards it. So it also manages to, some of these episodes, there's like an episode in season 1 called Faith, where there's like this faith healer that gets you to question the rights and wrongs and moralities of things. Very, very deep episode, and there's good examples of that in season 1, where it's actually socially relevant as well, and it's asking relevant questions of the audience members, and that's something, again, that's a trend that has continued throughout the show. They got a lot of great directors on board for the first season, and the idea was to make each week like they wanted it to look like a feature film each week. And for its first season, and when you actually consider the budget they had, which is minuscule compared to what it gets now, the effects here are on point for the most part. I do remember watching the first season, and there were a couple of scenes, I think in the episode Bugs, where you can tell like there's a scene with these spiders crawling about in the shower and stuff, and it pretty poor CGI. But for the most part, for season 1, the effects were great, and I found it fascinating as well as to see how they've altered like the mythology of the demons and stuff as the seasons have gone on. How they've changed things here and there, and how actually naive Sam and Dean were in that first season in regards to their knowledge of demons, their knowledge of vampires and some of the other creatures, and they were very much led by their dad's handbook for the most part, and they were actually they were rookies for the most part in the first season, and when you compare them to who they are now coming up to season 15, what they've done is completely overshadows anything their father ever did in that sense. So the film, the series 1 is littered with great episodes, and I forgot how effective and certainly scary some of them were, because my wife was grabbing hold of me a few times while we were watching season 1 with the episode like Scarecrow, The Benders, Shadow, all these great episodes. And I think there wasn't that many that were a miss really in season 1. I think the one with the ghost truck was not brilliant, but I think you can count the misses on this season certainly on one hand in regards to episodes that weren't as strong. For the most part, every single one of these episodes in season 1 was an 8 or above. Really high quality stuff, and we saw glimpses in the first season of the dynamics of the brothers and the humour of Dean Winchester that has now become legendary. I think Jensen Ackles' charisma is perfect for Dean Winchester, and we see that in season 1. He is funny occasionally. It only develops as the seasons go on, and he has become iconic in regards to his humour for Dean Winchester. I was a big advocate when they were making Solo for Jensen Ackles to be cast. I understand why he wasn't cast, because he was too old, but he would have been perfect as Han Solo, as a younger Han Solo. And I just think that was a bit a missed opportunity, maybe. Not that I didn't enjoy that film, because I did. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, Supernatural season 1, what a massively great start to the show. If you've never seen Supernatural, it can be quite an intimidating show, because it is so meaty now, and they're well above 300 episodes. The show now has it's taken on a life of its own, and it's a big show to commit to, and a lot of people are put off by that. But just give season 1 a go if you've never seen Supernatural, and if you're fans of things like Angel and Buffy, and X-Files, or especially X-Files, you're going to absolutely be blown away by this show, because they deliver high quality, they deliver good scares. There's socially relevant messages in the show as well, and it's bloody funny. And these two have got such great chemistry. It's what makes the show so good. It's just an iconic show. The first season is a brilliant start, and the show only gets better from here. I think the show really started picking up, real undeniable quality from about end of season 3 onwards. The first 3 seasons are really brilliant, but after that they just become untouchable, I think, and they really found their feet. So I'm going to give the first season an 8.5 out of 10. I didn't want to start really high, and then because you're only going to get lower potentially. So I think 8.5 out of 10 is a fair score for the first season. There are examples of them kind of finding the feet, finding the direction for the characters, what they want to do with these characters, and for at least 9 or 10 of the episodes they absolutely nail it, and it's almost like they think, yeah, this is this show, this is what we want to do with this show. And if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. So stay tuned when we have finished watching season 2, just starting season 2 tonight, I believe it is. I will then put up my season 2 review as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm really pleased to be able to get round to finally giving a review for Supernatural. I've been wanting to do it almost since I started the channel. I had no idea how to do it because it's such a big chunky series, and I think now I have found a way. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you like this review, please click the like button. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and stay tuned for season 2 Supernatural in a few weeks. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.